In this movie featuring Indigenous people and their stories, a young woman is trying to adjust to her new foster home as her girlfriend is kidnapped by people from her past. So to summarize the film, it has been 10 years since Millie's mom was taken from her, and since then, the chip on her shoulder has grown bigger and bigger. But upon meeting Coco and being part of the Dragon Fox Dojo, there's been a bit of a shift in her life. However, with still living on a reservation where kidnapping, murder, and women being forced into sex work still exist, while the Dragon Fox Dojo is a haven, it unfortunately doesn't compensate for the systematic problems Millie finds herself having to face when her girlfriend is taken. So, getting to the review portion, the first highlight is that there is a first depiction of Indigenous life. Now, granted, while most Black and Indigenous people color films, productions, and also those that feature LGBTQIA+, can definitely seem like they have a stronger focus on trauma than anything else. When it comes to Gift of Fear, similar to The Shy in some ways, there's an acknowledgement that things could be better, but there's also a push that that's not everything that this community offers. From Coco's Dojo to showing traditional practices, there is more to Gift of Fear than a depiction of what there is to fear on a reservation. For example, Millie learning about martial arts may not be equal to the trauma and unfortunate story that she has had thus far, but it's something. And while she does have to deal with her girlfriend getting kidnapped, it is still a wonderful thing to see, even if in a montage, her and Ten go on dates and kind of be cute together. I mean, it kind of gives you a peek into the normalcy beyond the usual narrative that takes place. And while I wouldn't say that Gift of Fear necessarily is trying to be like a Reservation Dogs or really like try to be something different, at the very least there is some type of push to be something beyond what usually saturates the market. So getting to the next highlight, for us that's gonna be that there is message and data behind the drama rather than just being drama for drama's sake. For example, the end of the film highlights that about 9,000 Native women go missing in the United States and Canada, or rather, there are 9,000 women missing rather than it being an annual thing. And then if you dive deeper into it, because you get a little bit of an interest, you could also find out from the Department of Interior, specifically the American one about Indian Affairs, that 4 in 5 American Indian or Native Alaskan women experience violence in their lifetime, and about 56.1% experience sexual violence. So, with that data, it kind of informs what happens in the movie and what we see, and then when you add on the depiction of the distrust and also dysfunction between the federal government, local government, and then the reservation in terms of how they work together or don't work together, it allows you to see how and why illegal activities flourish. There's a lack of trust almost in every direction, and it's not just because people get screwed over, but also because they feel largely neglected to the point where they don't trust people in authority and also don't wish to disturb the system because it's already hard enough for them. So why try to change things and possibly make it worse? And it's in showing this that I would say Gift of Fear pushes past this just being another film that's focused solely on trauma and not trying to really get you to understand people and kind of get some type of perception. So the next highlight plus is that you can get into the characters. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I can remember or name every last damn character that's in this film, but when it comes to Millie and Coco, they are definitely characters that definitely push you to wish that with Reservation Dogs ending, this could have been like the next thing. For yes, both experienced trauma and Coco has kind of grown beyond it, but there's just something about them, how she processes her issues versus Millie, who's dealing with foster care and everything, that it just feels like having everything just start and end with just this film is not enough, and it makes you so badly wish he was able to expand beyond it. So for the last topic, unfortunately, it's an on-the-fence topic, and that's just when it comes to the acting, it's a little green sometimes. But take note, for a lot of the actors, this is their first film role, or they've been working as a supporting character or some bit parts, and now they're really having screen time. So you got to give some kind of grace. Now, I thankfully can say it's not camp or outright terrible, but it definitely fits in that middle ground of where you respect the fact that they got this film done, but you may also feel that it's unfortunate that you have to be understanding, as you will probably have to be in order to let some things slide. But overall, Indigenous stories matter, Indigenous lives matter, and when it comes to Gift of Fear, it seems like they want to break out of that echo chamber and really present you with what may be a dramatized story, but also one that pushes a narrative beyond something that could just be entertaining. It wants you to understand the data, it wants you to understand the lives, and it wants you to hopefully give a damn beyond what this film presents, so that this isn't a flash in the pan type of film or just a piece of content to end up in the ethos of either the digital marketplace or some streaming service, but hopefully in the long run make somebody care more, make somebody produce the next thing, so that this isn't just one of the handful of productions that actually got on a budget. And we can only hope that alongside Reservation Dogs, Fancy Dance, I'll put in the bottom something about young ghouls that I can't remember the name of fully, but hopefully, rather than being able to name perhaps some of the most notable Indigenous films that focus on life on a reservation, it'll be something where instead of being able to name a good portion of them, you would have to talk about which one's your favorite rather than just give you a short list and that's pretty much being it.